Hi, this is Eric Lehman, and good morning. Welcome to another edition of Morning Has Broken, and I Don't Want to Fix It. Today is pretty inspired. Just woke up with uh, some real insight on I think what is possible. I know what is possible, and I want to be a part of it. I want to be a vessel for it. I want to be a conduit and a catalyst for it. And here it is. It's simple and it's probably hard. Um, so there's sort of been this like progression in how we communicate with each other. So there's there's just whole bunches of realms in how we string words together. There's books like The Five Love Languages, and then there's, stuff on nonviolent communication, and then there's all these different ways. Like, I mean, I used to be in the selling world, so there's like selling with persuasion, and there's all this sort of, different ways to use words to accomplish things. And I think that's really what I woke up inspired to share, is that I feel like there's a new category brewing and evolving, and and here it is. It's heartful communication. It's it's just and it's not just heartful. It's 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 progressive and it's growing communication. So there are four fathers of it, or forebearers of this movement, and people like Marshall Goldsmith, who serve as executive coaches, and Marshall will actually follow executives of companies around and make sure they don't interrupt their employees, um, or their colleagues, or anyone, and use words like no or but or all these other things. And I think that that's a great start. And I think that heartful communication captures that and a whole lot more. And I think the word and is a huge part of it. I feel like heartful communication begins with the acceptance, just the understanding that we can have it all. And this is the challenging part for me, and we deserve it all. There's nothing I can do, nothing I can say that will make me deserve anything any more or less. And I think that's a really big learning. It's a big thing to just to breathe into. It's so awesome when we free ourselves from our doing and know that we are just deserving beings. So that's where I woke up with this just burst of energy to start sharing around. I feel like there's like mindful communication, and then there's heartful communication. And I think heartful just allows things to um, not necessarily know your audience. Uh, it's basically saying know yourself, know who you are. You're worthy of knowing yourself, and that's a big start to what heartful communication is to be able to check in with your heart before you say anything, and to know that that is what this planet needs. Um, I came from sales, and I guess in advance of sales, I'm going to share this. I came from, I guess, quote unquote, mental illness. Just like the world of mental illness as it related to my family system. And so what I noticed in my upbringing, or my development, is that I became keenly sensitive to people's use of language, and just the words that expanded versus the words that contracted and constricted. And so, in this time of choice for me, like I find more excuses to choose the people who use more expansive language, to hang around and to become my circle with. Those are the people who inspire me to be a better man. The people I love in interpersonal relationships are the people who are out for my growth, and they're not wanting to own my heart. And I think that's what's so amazing about this feeling of the potential and the possibility for heartful communication. And I'm so excited to start sharing around it. I feel like, um, you know, I feel like one of the biggest contributions I'm going to get to make is is around language, and I feel like it's so, this is where I can let go and just know that I want to be part of it and just say, I want to create a get to generation and a get to world versus a have to world. I want people to give out of contribution rather than obligation, and I want that to matter. I used to think that, I spent a lot of I live a life of service, and there are times where I said, wow, if all they need is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, just I'm so glad that there's someone out there making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And there's a whole lot more. There's the people who just write checks. You know, I'm fine with that. I think that's a good point of entry for what it means to live a life of service. And there's a payoff if you allow yourself to go deeper and to first check in with your heart. So, I'm just really on a high energy roll with this. One of the other things that I just want to share um, during this segment is that, like, I'm learning about all these different things where, like a group of just heartful people show up in Manhattan to meditate all at once. And for some reason, not for some reason, for a mindful, heartful, intentional reason, the crime rate goes down in the city. So, what I learned from this is that um, what the world needs is for us to go inward, really inward, and to know that we're worth it, to know that we deserve that time with Source every day, and that it's totally available, and it's abundant, and you can't you can't use it too much. It's just always here, and I think that's what's so amazing about the concept of heartful communication, is that it's so it's it's so future and present oriented. Um, One of the things that Goldsmith does is called feed forward, and I love that, and I feel like we get to just look into our hearts and know that we are allowed to be our best clients ever. Whatever our industry, whatever our category of inquiry and contribution, it's so important that we know that we deserve to be our best clients first, and heal thyself, and to just do that, and just to know that we deserve healing, and from our own sense of internal healing we can do anything, and the abundance that is just already there for the things that we already have, and more, and enough. All these words will just have really amazing meanings, so I'm really full of this spirit right now, and I woke up just knowing that I needed to share these words. So welcome, thank you so much for growing with me on this journey. This is Eric Lehman with Morning is Broken, and I don't want to fix it. Love you all. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.